you all to stand for a minute's silence. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years with them. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
This morning's match will be streamed live on YouTube and or to our Facebook page. In commentary this morning, up in the seats at the top, we have our official Alan Thornhill and Janice Gower. Our officials on mic, we have our umpire, Mike Davis, and the marker is Danny McManus this morning.
Good morning from the Stewart Centre here in Perth for the Scottish Young Indoor Bowlers Association Young Masters Final 2017-18, sponsored by David Gourley Bowls. Let's bring on your players. From the Inverclyde Indoor Bowls Club, Stewart McAlees.
It's something that you're never gonna forget. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet.
From the Prestwick Ambassador Indoor Bowling Club, please welcome onto the rink, Rebecca Houston. I'll hand you over to commentary with Alan Thornhill and Janice Gower.
Thanks very much there, Tom. And welcome everybody to this junior under-17s final from the Scottish Young Indoor Bowlers Association. Two youngsters out there on the rink. Sure, they'll be a little bit nervous this morning. It's always nervous when you walk out to the lights and music. I'm sure we're in for a very good game, and I'm delighted to be joined in commentary by the head of our officials here at the WBT, Alan Thornhill. Welcome into commentary again, Alan. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Janice, and good morning to everybody watching. This should be an interesting game. This is the showcase of the youth of bowls. For all those that think this is old man's game, this is the game to watch.
Yes, we've got a 15-year-old out there in Rebecca Houston's 15, and Stewart McAlees is 16, so two definite youngsters of the game. Rebecca Houston is the current World Under-25s Mixed Triples champion. That's part of the Under-25 WIBC events that take place, and Stewart's the runner-up in the Under-17s indoor pairs.
Certainly stars of the future here, Janice, and let's hope one day we see them on the Portable Rink playing the Scottish International Open.
Yes, a good start. Of course, this event's sponsored by David Gourley Bowls, which is owned and proprietary is Linda Brennan.
One
and I will
green.
give Linda a shout out. She's not been particularly well just recently. I hope you're feeling better,
Your last
Linda.
ball has a gap of 9 inches.
And Bowls does thank you for sponsoring this juniors event here. I asked Alan to join me this morning because I know we had one or two rules questions yesterday that when we were doing the first set of the men's Scottish Masters final, so Alan kindly agreed to join me for this game this morning. So if you do have any rule questions, do bob them on the Facebook chat that's at the side of the live Facebook streaming. We've got a couple of questions we've already got lined up for you that viewers asked yesterday, Alan. Well, we'll approach those in a couple of ends' time.
We'll be happy to help as always.
Of course, these players are not playing under the shot clock, but they are playing 2 sets of 9 ends, and if necessary, a 3-end tiebreak. Stewart holding shot at the moment. He's in the danger that Rebecca's got 3 bowls to the left of your screen as you're looking at it now. It's not sure how aggressive a player she is, Alan, but there is a shot down the backhand there to try and remove shot bowl and flick the jack out to her own bowls. Looks like she's just electing to try the draw.
One shot, Stewart McAlees.
So that's the opening end to Stewart McAlees with 1 shot. Well, we'll ask you one of those questions that we received yesterday, Alan. It might crop up even in this game itself, but yesterday during the first game there was a jack sent that actually didn't make it the full distance to the 23 metres, and we did have a viewer asking why you didn't actually bring out the tapes to measure that. Why Mike Davis just picked the jack up and sent it back.
Yeah, it's a really good question, Janice. You may notice on the stream at the moment, you'll see Mike Davis just walking up the side of the rink there. He holds back until the jack's delivered because we look to see where the mat's placed. If you look carefully on the rink, you'll see some small spots up the centre line of the rink. They are 1 metre apart. So if we know where the mat's been placed, and we know that the minimum length jack is 23 metres, if that jack doesn't reach the corresponding spot at the other end, then we know that it's not the legal distance. Sometimes we do get the tape out. That's really if it sort of finishes in between a spot and we're not really sure. Just to be accurate, we'll get the tape out. But generally, we can tell pretty quickly where it's going to be, and you'll hear the jack lengths during the game. The umpire will give the jack lengths, and that's the way we measure it.
At the end of the day, Alan, you've got to be fairly quick for the players, and also the fact that we're under TV timings as well, limitations, so the umpires do try and be as quick with everything as they can.
That's right, and there's very little point in getting a measure out which is going to take a couple of minutes when you know for sure that the jack is not going to reach the required distance.
Rebecca just staying with the backhand draw here. It's down a good line, all on a pace.
A good adjustment on her first bowl. Just took the weight off a little bit. Nice draw.
The players did get a good practice on the rink last night, but of course it does change. They probably went on to practice about 6 o'clock yesterday evening, and early in the morning the pace of the rink does change. Stewart looking at this one, but it's just pulled up short.
Just over 2 feet.
And of course, it's important to remember this is unlike any other indoor bowls arena. This is a portable rink. It's laid down specifically for this tournament, and it does change under the temperature and humidity conditions in this fantastic arena. It alters every game, before the game, after the game. Great shot there from Rebecca.
2 red.
You'll have noticed there that the marker Dan McManus sprayed the bowl with 2 little white dots. That's because it touched the jack on its delivery. He's actually sprayed some chalk on there, powdered chalk. That indicates that that bowl is live. It's a toucher. If that bowl finds its way into the ditch, it will remain live. If any bowl that hasn't touched the jack goes into the ditch, it's removed and plays no further part in the end.
Well, now there is a nice shot down the forehand here. He's got to be the right pace for it. Oh, he's going quick. Very close. Might just have been unlucky there. Might just have gone to Rebecca's back bowl. Played that the right sort of pace as well, Alan, for the ring.
Excellent, accurate drive, yeah. Yeah, excellent drive. I think he may have been slightly unlucky.
Dan McManus, our marker, will...
1 red.
Yeah, just confirming 1 red there.
And there's a good example of what I was just talking about with the live bowl entering the ditch. We've actually got Rebecca's marked by the little red dot on the bank.
All on a pace again here. Very good line.
Two shots. Rebecca Houston.
Live streaming is with you here on YouTube and Facebook for every bowl sent out on the portable rink.
2-1 after 2
We're with you with our World Bowls Tour commentary as well for the entirety of the game this morning. And then at 12 o'clock, don't forget to tune in. We have Michael Hotstep Stepney versus David the Coach Gawley in the final of the Co-op Funeral Care Scottish International Open 2017 here at the Live and Active at the Dewars in Perth. I think we're in for a cracking final then, so please stay with us if you can for that one. Just pulling up short here, I think, Rebecca. This is playing in the direction of the ice rink, which a lot of people feel just makes that end of the rink that bit colder, so it slows up the bowls. I was talking to Stewart McAlees about this last night, and he felt that in practice. But as Alan says, that can be all change at different times of the day as well. Track again here. Rebecca plays with Aero Grooves and Stewart plays with Henselite Tigers. Of course, the players normally play both of these players apparently play with blue speckled bowls in leagues and national competitions, but here on the portable rink, if you're the top name on the draw,
Slightly favour one
you
red,
play
but it is
with
close.
red bowls and in a red shirt, and if you're the bottom name on the draw, you play with green bowls in a green shirt. If you are watching us on Facebook, don't forget to like the page and you'll be notified of any future live videos.
Your last ball has a gap of 11 inches.
All on pace, I think he might just overplayed it. Even the players in the top 16 have said
One red.
you just get that higher line and just that touch overweight, it just hangs off and then makes it back to centre. But both of these players settled in quite nicely out there. Just having a glance at the player profiles we have in front of us, and when asked to describe himself in one sentence, Stewart McAlees described himself as being laid back, and young Rebecca described herself as being determined.
Should make for an interesting match.
The other interesting one on here, Alan, is that Stewart's nickname is Chips. I wonder if that's for as in fish and chips, or... And Rebecca's known as Becca.
One shot, Rebecca Houston.
Right, shall we go in for this complicated question then, Alan? We did have a viewer in. I hope you're listening in today, because I did promise you we'd get you the answer to this question.
Set score
Viewer
3-1
messaged
after
us
3
yesterday,
ends.
Alan, to say they were playing in a singles game. They played the last bowl, and as they walked up to the head, the player against them kicked the bowls in and claimed a count. He just wondered what he should have done about that, because obviously he hadn't reached the head to say what he thought the situation was.
Would you like to give me a challenge, Janice? It's actually very straightforward, to be honest. The decision on the shots has to be by agreement. You'll often see on this portable rink the decisions are made very quickly, and often when players are walking up the rink. But we do get a clear decision from players as to who's holding shot or shots. So in the situation asked, if an agreement has been made and the head of bowls has been destroyed, then simply the opponent of the person that destroyed it has to replace all the bowls and the jack. Now, clearly, when a complete head has been destroyed, that's quite a difficult task. Quite often, the most common sense way of dealing with these things is they just agree somehow, or they will replay an end. But that's very rare. The laws actually state that the head should be rebuilt, and that's at the sole discretion of the person who was affected by that.
I think it's very difficult, Alan, in club games when you don't have a official umpire actually present. Sometimes a lot of early rounds of certainly English nationals are played with just a marker. I do think I had it against me when I just started playing, where somebody just kicked the bowls in and just said, well, I was holding 4. And ever since then, I've always tried to make sure, I say to my opponent, can you just leave things until I've had a look myself?
That's right. You're absolutely right. At the club level, it's very difficult sometimes. Quite often we find that these little anomalies and these situations are sorted out very amicably. They may not fall in line with the laws of the sport, but they're sorted out. Everybody's happy, and we move on and play the game. At the end of the day, this is a very social sport. It's a very interactive sport. It's open for everybody, and it's all down to fairness and a lot of it down to common sense. But certainly at these big events where we have officials, even at national level, county level, state level, then that's when the laws really do come into effect, and we have umpires that do uphold the laws of the sport.
Yeah, well, those were the two questions I got asked yesterday, Alan, so thank you so much for that. And if you do have any questions today, put them on the Facebook chat, and I'm sure Alan will be able to answer them. If there's a rules question, if it's something to do with the WBT or anything else, we'll try and get it answered for you. Like I say, this is our last of our World Bowls Tour commentaries this morning. I do know the BBC have some sort of question feed, but we like to think we're including you all in this event. You're part of it, so do let us know anything that's puzzling you. Now's your time to ask us.
We've had an interesting question on the Facebook feed, Janice, and I'm not sure if you know the answer to this. What colour has won most events? There's one for a pub quiz.
Let's just have a look at this bowler. He just missed the target again. He went quick, probably went the right way, but unfortunately, Alan, he's taken both his own bowls out. He could have dropped to 4 here. That was the danger with going that sort of pace. Just find out what the situation is here while my brain's just ticking over to your question.
4 shots, Rebecca Houston.
So Rebecca scores a full house on that
Set
end.
score 7-1
Takes
after
her into a
4
7-1 lead in this first set.
I don't actually know the answer because, of course, at one point in time we did play with blue bowls as well. When we played on a green rink, the players played with red and blue bowls. So my guess at that would be probably red, because red's been played with all the time. Does that sound like a technically worked out answer?
Sounded like a guess to me, Janice.
Definitely a guesstimate, folks.
So if anybody out there wants to do some research and watch back all of the live feeds that we've done of the finals, then that'll make an interesting quiz question.
Early on a Saturday morning, and we got some interesting questions coming in. Do keep them coming in, folks. That's one that I will definitely ponder on. We have a quiz here on a Thursday night between the WBT and the BBC. That might be one to put to our quiz master at that event, Paul Mitchell. If we were going on games one, I would definitely say red, because the opening rounds, the seeds are all red. So therefore, the vast majority of the opening games are won by red. But actual titles, this year's title last year, sorry, not this title, but the Co-op Funeral Care Scottish International Open title, last year was won with a red shirt.
14
the year before was
gap.
won with a green shirt, but the same person, Greg Harlow. So he's won one of each. Rebecca's playing very well out there. Just had a little bit of misfortune, did Stewart at the last end.
1 green. 1 green.
Yeah, he's made up for it at this end, Stewart. He's first bowl right on top of the jack. Rebecca's in a really good position with her 2 bowls. They've just gone past the jack. Stewart needs to be covering these as best he can. Very good response there from Stewart.
2 green.
Yes, he really needs to count that 2 shots. Rebecca's got a nice shot down this backhand here. Try and just turn the jack to her own bowl. Little trail. Doesn't want a lot of difference to her last delivery. All on the pace of this. It looks underweight to me. Yeah, not happy with that. Little clap of her hands. Little bit dangerous for Stewart here. Doesn't want to touch the jack. He's holding 2. If he's feeling really confident, he could just rest off his own last bowl. No, he's opting for the safer hand. It's always very interesting to see players that you haven't seen play out on the portable rink, the choice of shot. Now he's
2 shots, Stewart McAlees.
Played it safe with that one, Janice, I think. But that's certainly helped Stewart's cause in his first set.
Set score 7-3 after 5 ends.
yes, just 4 behind now, 4 ends to play. Of course, it's possible to have a set tied here. Yesterday we actually, in the men's final, the seniors Scottish final, we had 2 tied sets that then took us into a tie break. It's not a usual thing, 2 tied sets, but it certainly happened yesterday
Jack
morning.
length 24 metres.
So welcome to everybody on our Facebook live stream. Great to see many of you up at the crack of dawn in the USA. Special shout out to Boggin with Steve. Also we have people watching from New Zealand at the other end of the day. So welcome to everybody. Send in your questions, we're here to help you.
Good opener there from Stewart. Just a little shake of his head. Hopefully he's put that end behind him where he took his closest bowl out to drop the 4. It's just all about resettling yourself, not letting it affect you. For a young 16-year-old, he's showing a lot of calm and composure out there.
And of course the same for Rebecca, Janice, when you lose or when you gain a count like that, sometimes it's very easy just to relax and forget actually that you've got to keep pushing to get to the end of the set. And that's when you start dropping shots. She's had a couple of loose deliveries here.
It's so easy to do, Alan, and then all of a sudden you're
1 green.
looking at a count against you. The top players tend to not let a head build against them. They'll try and change things quickly. All on his pace again here from Stewart. Oh, just got wrecked on Rebecca's bowl. Nice crowd in here at the Dewars to watch this junior final. I'm sure there's a few people sat at home watching it before they come into the Co-op Funeral Care Scottish International Open final at 12 o'clock. We are a sellout this afternoon. Should be a great atmosphere in here. 2 Scots, 2 gladiators of the game. 14 World Bowls Tour titles, David Gawley. And Michael Stepney in his second World Bowls Tour final. He got to the final of Super Bowl, where he was just beaten by Billy Jackson. So I'm sure we're in for a cracking game at midday today. Rebecca just having a look at which of the two bowls to the right of your screen is actually fourth bowl. If that's the case, Alan, it makes you think she's looking at playing a big runner to the front green bowl.
I think so, Janice. She's her furthest back bowl there is going to be covering the spot, so that when the jack is respotted, she'll be holding the one shot with that. Yep, playing with weight.
Oh, just a timer. That'll just hang off.
2 shots, Stewart McAlees.
Well, Stewart's firmly back in this first set. Drops a 4, but then picks up consecutive 2s.
Set score 7-5 after 6 ends.
To 6 ends, both players have won 3 ends. It's just been that count of 4 that's been the difference between the two players. Of course, after the event here at the Dewars, it's our 14th year here at the Dewars Centre. The next World Bowls Tour event, we move on to the World Championships at Potters in January. And we'll be with you for every bowl sense there on the portable rink. We start on Friday the 12th of January at 2 o'clock. I'll be with you at 2 o'clock that day for some of the opening rounds of the World Championships. So put that in your diary for January, Friday the 12th, our next live streaming event. Let's look at the draws for that. You'll find it on worldbowlstour.tv, all the timings of the games and the draws. No doubt I will manage to persuade my co-com. It was Alan Umpey Thornhill, I think the boys put on early, to commentary at some point in time over those 2.5 weeks. So again, we like to think we're an interactive channel, so if you do have any questions, we'll get them answered for you.
One green.
Stewart's certainly settling into a good game here now. I think he thinks he's just overplayed this. His line was very good. Once again, I will just thank Linda Brennan, who's the proprietor of David Gawley Bowls, for sponsoring this event. Bowl shop for all your bowls equipment needs. Just contact Linda. She's a fantastic supporter of the game of bowls.
It's close for shot. I favour one red, but it is close.
Oh no, Stewart's on a very good line here. All on his pace. Rests his own bowl, he gets shot. Yeah, great reply.
One green.
Rebecca playing a reaching forehand to that last green bowl. Looks in the target area.
Very good reply there from Becca. Not sure just yet whether it made the journey.
Umpire, please.
First call out for our umpire,
Measure for shot.
Mike Davies. Being asked to let us know which of these bowls is the closest. Looks like it's one green, Alan.
Yes, one green confirmed.
One
for
shot.
Stewart McAlees.
Stewart McAlees.
So one shot behind. He's done well to come back in this set. 7-1 down.
Set score 7-6 after 7 ends.
So Janice, we've had a question from a close colleague of mine, Brian Airley from Scotland.
Oh, I know Brian. Shout out to Brian.
Yes. Hello, Brian. Good morning. I'll be working with Brian next year. Brian's asked if,
Jack
in all the years that I've been
26
doing
meters.
World Bowls Tour officiating, I've ever measured a rebounded jack. So that's a jack that's been hit and rebounded back up the rink. And there's actually a minimum distance that that bowl needs to be to remain live, and that's 20 metres. And yes, I have one. In I think about 16 years I've measured one. It's a rare occurrence.
Well, we've had a couple of rare occurrences so far this week, haven't we, Alan? We had Paul Foster striking and splitting a jack into several pieces. And we also had Paul Foster hitting a head and removing all the bowls from the green. We don't often have either of those occurrences either.
No, it's certainly been an interesting week for us, Janice. Yeah, the split jack is a very rare occurrence. It's the first time I've seen it in live play, seen it in practice. And certainly a tied end where no bowls remain on the rink is also quite a rare occurrence. Normally a tied end we see two bowls are touching the jack, or they're equidistant when we measure them. That's a tied end, it's a no scored end, but that can also occur when there's no bowls remaining on the rink at all, and that happened. One of Paul Foster's superb drives took all the bowls off the rink.
One red.
No score end.
2 inches past.
Great bowl there from Stewart McAlees.
One green.
Just when he needed it. Oh, Rebecca's just played one of those hard to play timing bowls. Can make you look a little bit silly on this rink and those timers. It looks like she's played a bad bowl there, but she was probably only a couple of inches under the line she wanted.
Yeah, it's a very difficult shot to play on this rink. Rarely do we see the top 16 play that sort of shot. It's normally a dead draw or a much faster drive. Very difficult bowl.
Stewart running for cover here, I think. He's happy to accept the one and the tied set. So it does give Rebecca a chance here. there is the chance down there for Rebecca. Down the backhand. Well, she's played it, but just played it under the line again.
One shot, Stewart McAlees.
So that takes us into the final end. We play 9 end sets here, all square. So we can't have a tied set now.
Set score 7-7 after
One of
8
these
ends.
players will win this set. Stewart's won the last few ends, so he's certainly in the driving seat. Since dropping that 4 at end 4, he's settled himself and he's playing very good bowls now. Only takes one bowl though, Alan. It's a little bit like playing a tie-break end. Just whoever wins this end, whether it's 1 or 4 shots, will take the first set.
Jack length 26.5 metres.
Good track again here from Rebecca. Right, good ball in there from the young lady from the Prestwick club. A lot of good players to look up to there at Prestwick to help her. Paul Foster, David Gawley, and Stewart, a member of the Inverclyde club. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there supporting these two players from their home clubs. Don't forget, we're live with you on this streaming on YouTube and Facebook for every ball played out there. If you can't stay with us this morning, 12 o'clock, the big final. David Gawley versus Michael Stepney. Well, Stewart. We're just under the line there.
One red.
So Rebecca's holding that all-important one shot that she requires here for the set.
Body language didn't particularly like that bowl. Still a chance here for Stewart. He's just looking at it. He's got 2 options. He's looking at actually taking the bowl out down the forehand. We know he's got a good drive. If he removes that bowl to the left of your screen, it might take his own bowl out the head, but it should leave the bowl to the right of the screen, counting as shot. Big decision for the young man here. Alan really got to decide. Draw or drive. Looks like the drive.
Looks like the drive, yeah.
Well, he's not played the drive off the forehand, which is a surprise. This has got to be perfect weight to make it back. It's not going to do it. First set to
One
Rebecca.
shot in the first set, Rebecca Houston.
She takes the opening set here, 8-7. So we move into the second set here at this Scottish Young Indoor Bowlers Association Under-17s final. Well, folks, I've just been informed that we are now no longer continuing commentary from World Bowls Tour commentary. So thanks, Alan, for your company for this first set. And I believe we're handing over to BBC commentary.
It's a pleasure, Janice. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Don't forget to join us again, WBT commentary, Friday the 12th of January, 2 o'clock.
Later, she just tucks her leg in behind her front leg, which is lovely to see. Makes room for the arm to go through. Much more of an outdoor delivery and a traditional big step forward for Stewart. It's been a game of some quality, Paul. Already you've had some excellent bowls.
Both players settled into the match quite quickly. Got a chance to practice on the blue portable rink. Both have found a pretty good line and length. Stewart will be looking to get off to a good start to the second set.
One red.
That's good memory. And that's good memory. She knew exactly what to do with the second one. Just popped another
Last
one in.
ball is 7 inches short of Jack High with a gap of 3.5 inches.
Looks like he might be one driving at this, trying to remove the two balls. They're there for the split. That was close.
Very close indeed.
A lot of power from the 16-year-old. So often when you see younger players, they would drive much too quickly. But with these two, they've only been using the power when absolutely necessary. And that's coming into actually a very good home. And close to a third. No, that's a really good ball. Blocking the drive ball and a scoring shot.
Added protection. Very impressive. Well, there's 3 against, so he may decide to go again.
Well, even if he removes one, it's a damage limitation. Plus slightly less weight than his previous bowl. He might get into the shot one, but it's a hard draw. Going for the draw.
Third shot would be a decent result. Just going to slip by though.
That was a tough shot, to be truthful with you. He was so close on the running ball, I thought he might have popped it again.
3 shots. Rebecca Houston.
So having taken the first set, that's a near perfect start to the second.
So Rebecca Houston's mum and dad, Lynn and Jamie, just seeing themselves on the big screen, so they know we're talking about them.
He just glanced over at the big screen at the same time and thought, whoops, better smile.
Yep, big smile. Daughter's doing well. When you get to these sort of finals, especially this event, which is highly regarded, brings you to the notice of selectors for representative play at under 18, under 25 level. We're always looking for talent that's coming through, nurture that talent all the way through to senior internationals. That leg tucked in behind the front leg, it's just a beautiful action. Especially for the indoor, it's fast surfaces, makes room for the hand to follow all the way through. She's been playing the backhand very well, a bit surprised it's playing the forehand.
Well, he thought he'd left that short. You can tell from his reaction. That's a missed opportunity, as you would expect Rebecca to draw in here.
Well, a bit of an off end for both players. These are dangerous ends.
Puts the brakes on.
One green and a measure.
So one of the measure.
So these are ends that you can lose a 2 or 3, and it's a very cheap end. Just needs to get the shoulder behind this one a little bit more. Line's good enough. Yeah, if you knew that was better. One of the rare loose ends. A lot of Paul Foster about that delivery.
Certainly is. One of his bowling heroes is Paul Foster. He's taken too much weight off.
One shot, Rebecca Houston.
Scratch the head there. Loose end. Loses one. A couple of opportunities after Rebecca had not made it with his the first balls, and Stewart's just not getting where he wanted to be.
Jack length 29.5 metres.
Both players playing very well in this direction. Oh, look at that, goodness me. 2 touchers, first 2 balls. And that's Stewart's mum, Mary. Goodness me, she looks nervous.
She certainly does.
Always more difficult for the parents. Chance with this. Just needs a little tap. Oh yes. Oh yes. Three perfect deliveries.
And acknowledged by her opponent as well.
Well, stay on the backhand, come around, hit the red balls and drop in behind would be good. Well, a mixed junior event, could you imagine these two playing?
It would take something to stop them.
This is good again. That is three perfect deliveries. No. Certainly none of the top players in the world would have played that in any better at the moment than Rebecca has. And Stewart's in the area here.
Monty's only will take the shot ball out.
He's got it. Oh, the jack moved. Without the jack, he was lying three.
That's precisely why Rebecca put her ball round there.
And that's why it was a beautifully placed position shot, but a ball on the ball without the jack, line three, Rebecca in trouble, jack moves, goes to Rebecca's ball, and now she's got a chance to add another. Beautiful, I love to see that. Absolute complete follow through, no whipping of the arm across her body. Goes with the flow and the angle of the ball and pops another ball in.
Yeah, that's well played. And it's the perfect end of balls.
Well, I've watched a lot of women players in the last number of years as a coach and manager, and she's certainly one of the best I've seen. Whether she wins this title or not, she'll be, I'm sure, marked down as a future senior internationalist. Got a chance with this. Oh, he's played it. He's played it well. Oh, is he going to drop? Nope. I think it's enough for number one. That's a brilliant end.
Well, that's the way to play balls at this level. Fearless from both. A great response.
Set score 4-1 after 3 ends.
I could use all 8 of those balls as coaching masterclass of how to play the game of singles. Perfect end from both players.
So the question now for Stewart McAlees is
28 metres.
Jack length and then getting the first one onto it. Needs to start applying a little bit of pressure. That's a good opener.
Just tapped that ball. Without that, he was all the way in. Narrowed down the angles, so Rebecca moving to the backhand. Well, she knew that was over the weight, just out of the hand.
2 green.
Just struggling a bit more coming in this direction. Stewart will capitalise, pop another one in. Just needs to stop. I think it's just trucking on a bit. Yeah, again, she knew that. I could see by the body language, and this is a chance for Stewart, and he's been, in the first set, he was able to fight his way back in, mainly going this direction. He was playing some very good stuff. Just away from the commentary position.
Gently off the backhand, just wants to try and draw in a third.
He's waving at it to come back in again, but it's always going to make centre line. Looks like the recovery ball. Oh, second shot. Very good.
One shot, Stewart McAlees.
Set score 4-2 after 4 ends.
Oh, this young man's got a delivery style which is very like Paul Foster. He's obviously been watching him a lot as he was going to take the game up. Just watch Paul Foster. Big step forward, arms still extended. Big step forward, arms still extended.
5.5 meters.
It's quite similar, isn't it?
Well, it's obviously been an influence because everyone's got their own delivery. But you can just see it there that it's very, very like Paul Foster, and who can complain about that?
Absolutely.
Oh, he's going the right way. Yeah, the result's been very good too. As you say, Paul, he puts down Paul Foster as being one of his heroes, and no reason why not. Other inspirations, John Fleming Jr., who is a very, very good player as well.
Ten-inch gap.
The only difference there with the left hand is that Paul Foster doesn't use his left hand for balance, whereas Stewart does. Oh, he's played this well. It's coming this direction. The bowling has been a lot tighter on occasions, and
Ever so slightly short. Your ball was a gap of 10 inches.
Rebecca Houston just checking exactly where things are. Of the Prestwick Club, lots of talent coming out of there, including Darren Weir. Took the under-18 bowling championship last year in Scotland.
Well, there's a lot of players from that area as well. You know, it's a full of world champions in the past as well, outside of Scotland. Going strong at this. Ooh, an edge on that would have been useful, but it was okay to do that with the third bowl. Very risky to play it with the next one. It's, you make contact, you've got the recovery of the last bowl, but jack back is no good to her.
Position certainly against her at the back. Wanted it to run out.
Yep, made the double.
To green.
Well, there's nothing easy about this, but I think she needs to play it on the forehand just over the draw, and so if she gets a jack, she goes through with it. If she gets a bowl, that's great. It's not an easy shot, never will be in this situation, but I don't really think she can afford it. Either way, she must make a contact with the bowl if she's going to get a shot now. Backhand or forehand, it's available too. You know, she could come off the red bowl and bring it in. She could hit her own short bowl. Either way, she cannot afford to hit that jack too hard. Two shots, but the potential for losing more is there. Yep, that's a good decision. No, just a matter of getting back down again on the centre line. Just holding off. Well, it was the right shot, so...
2 shots, Stewart McAlees.
Half the battle is picking the right shot, the other half is execution, but nothing rash, and that was the important bit.
Set score 4-4 after 5 ends.
So tie things up at 4 apiece. It's been a good fight back. Young man from Inverclyde.
Jack length 26 metres.
A hand that she struggled on the last time going this direction, although the jack's a bit shorter. She had a really good bowl with her last delivery on the backhand. Let's see how this starts. So the backhand would be good. It's an open hand, but just a slight correction on the 4. Well, this line's different.
Certainly look different from sound.
It's an overcorrection problem. happens so easily, but she sneaked up and it's close for shot.
Just go inside the green
It's
ball.
very close. A favourite's one red, but it is very close.
Straighter ball.
So Stewart McAlees from Inverclyde Indoor Bowling Club looking to follow Michael Stevenson, who won this title last year. Also an Inverclyde junior player.
Well, really should move on to the backhand now because her own bowler tapped down, jacked the move. It's good tactics. Knows what she's doing. I thought she should be on the backhand in the first place. She's played it well. Well, sure, you've got the back position, and you are a good driver. I've seen him hit a few. Open draw still available on the forehand, and there's a hit shot to come into the two balls with the back position. Down to choice at the end of the day, and he's going for the draw. It's 50-50 choice. One's as good as the other. Oh, he's close. Just needs a run. Oh, he probably had the running.
One red.
Yeah, I think he did. Just getting killed on his own one there.
Secured second shot. Close to making the second shot. Needs to stop.
Stewart. Two shots. Rebecca Houston.
Oh, that's a very good spare shot to make.
Wasn't a lot of room to draw it, but she did so. With 3 ends to play, and the first set already in the bank.
Score 6 after 6 ends.
Rebecca Houston regains the lead. Prestwick Ladies Champion 2016-17, the youngest ever.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, absolutely.
15
29
years
metres.
old and able to do what she's doing, but not only that, she's got a great understanding as well of the game. And at that age, she's been very, very well looked after. She must be playing with and against top quality players. Mum and Dad, and they must be delighted with the way she's going. Just behind there is Mary, Stewart's mum. A lot of senior players will look out for the young ones coming through to see how they can help in their development, and quite often try and play in competitions with them. Yep, doing well down again.
And Stewart's already a regular in the Inverclyde Leisure Gents team. So there'll be plenty of players around him able to help. Even Charlie Bence, who was such a hit at the World Indoor. There's Michael Stepney of Elgin.
Yeah, he looks suitably relaxed and chilled, doesn't he?
Ahead of a big, big final.
Oh, just just dropped this bowl a bit on the short side. Just wanted to keep the same weight as the last one.
An inch past.
Yes, we've got some very good young players in my own club in Belfast, a very large club, but I ended up playing the World Pairs qualifier, young Robert Kirkwood, and I played lead. And he skipped away on that, and we just lost out in the last bowl of both sets for the qualifier.
1 green.
Against 2 international players. So Mark McPeak and Stewart Bennett will represent Ireland in the World Pairs in January. And I was only disappointed for Robert, not myself.
Yeah.
You know, I really wanted him to get there, but we'll have a go next year.
Another excellent effort, falls down.
1 red.
Brilliant correction. Robert's brother Stephen's in Hong Kong at the moment, so an interesting combination, those two. I don't think they play in too many competitions together though. Brothers.
Well, sometimes it's not a recipe for success, other times it is. Going to be fairly laid back in temperament though.
Oh, he's trying very hard on this line.
Oh, it's a real good effort. I don't think it's enough, but it's a really good effort.
Still think it's 1 to red.
1 shot. Rebecca Houston.
That's a really good pickup.
Set score 7-4 after 7 ends.
2 to play.
So 4 shots required, the last 2 ends for Stewart. And going this direction, it's Rebecca's been playing the forehand, and the first couple of balls hasn't really been nailing it. Much better with her 3rd and 4th bowl. And they've been played on the backhand. Let's see how she starts off. Didn't look too confident with it. Here comes the correction, but is it enough?
Just trying to push it up.
Still 1 to green, but better in the backhand. You really don't want to turn that over. Oh, he's got the line. Has he got the legs?
1 green.
That's not going to help her with the next ball either.
1 green.
Yep, go down and have a look. Both players coming up with their last ball. No shot clock, of course. This is looking good. Well, that's the number one shot. It's also the shoulder for Rebecca to play that backhand. Conscious of the fact of the front green one though. She really needs second shot here. Well, it's moved on to the backhand by the looks of it. Gentle, gentle, looking quick.
Yeah, look pacey from the hand.
Well, we could have a one-end shootout here. Just going this direction. Rebecca's, she scored shots coming this way, but the first two bowls have been a problem for her, and she's playing recovery bowls. Going the opposite way, very strong.
So that's the chance to make it 7 apiece with the final end to play.
He's got the right line. It's just a matter of whether he stops in time. Oh, I think it's run out.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, that will give Rebecca a little bit more hope in the next end.
Oh, she'll also have last ball.
Two shots. Stewart McAlees.
Yeah, disappointed as he picks up the jack.
Set score 7-6.
That was a chance.
Well, to be fair to him, Paul, he gave it a chance, and better than dropping a yard short, at least he was there.
Absolutely.
You know, there was always a chance of coming into his own ball, stopping on it. Needs a double this end to force the tie break, but both these players have been so impressive, and that's also good, just the way he delivered that jack. He's watching it all the way. A lot of people just play the jack down at club level in particular,
Jack
and
length
don't really watch it.
meters.
Very impressed by both these players, and you can go overboard with young players sometimes, but it's the control of their play that's important to me. The choice of shot is important. The execution will get better and better as they get older.
The free ball here for Rebecca.
I think she's pushed it as well. I'm not sure if that jack was just where it was meant to be.
A little bit of nerves creeping in for both, and it's fully understandable given what's at stake.
At this age, I was we had the under 35s in those days, believe it or not, and I actually skipped a rink at 15 against an international select team, and that was on an outdoor green, no TV, no big crowd, nothing like that, and you know, it was good, but nothing like this sort of pressure. You know, this is at this age, but in front of a big crowd, single rink, not always an easy rink, and television cameras on you. Oh, that is tough. Really, really tough.
That looked really heavy at the hand.
Yeah, no, he's missed a chance here. Really missed a chance to put the pressure on. I think that jack definitely was a couple of yards too short, and that's where the problem has been. Rebecca just needs one really good ball.
Better weight, didn't it?
Oh, it looks better. Looks better all the way. And she's hitting it in behind the green one as well. That's making it very difficult. Doesn't look even in the slightest perturbed by this.
Well, She's come through a lot. Very experienced player, even given her age, with Scottish international under 17, 18 and under 25.
So talent's been identified very early. No doubt about that. But
well, somehow a 2 has got to come here, nick out the red ball and stay.
That's a hard one. You might even be looking at the jack as well. Sufficient weight to get to the ball. It's well hidden, but the jack would also do. Yep, going inside the line with a little bit of extra weight. Close to the zone.
One shot.
It's all over.
Second set in the championship.
Rebecca Houston wins both sets and takes the match and the title. With a really steady, consistent performance. Impressive throughout.
Yes, both players giving absolutely everything. 8-7, 8-6, and my goodness me, weren't they impressive?
Well, ladies and gentlemen, an absolutely fantastic final from two very talented young bowlers. Before we get them out here onto the rink, a huge round of applause for that performance there. And let me introduce you to our presentation party from the tournament sponsors, David Gourley Bowls. It's David Gourley, of course, and from the Scottish Young Indoor Bowlers Association, David Ferguson and Stephen Lowry. It seems amazing that both these bowlers were just born in 2001. My goodness, we were all a bit, what were we doing then? We were all kind of nearly retired in 2001. But they're fantastic and wonderful, and they put up a great performance. But the runner-up this year is Stewart McAlees. But the Scottish Masters, Young Masters champion 2017 is Rebecca Houston. Yes, Rebecca, that's it, get that in the air, well done. Right, Rebecca, come over and chat to us. Congratulations, a fantastic final. You played very well.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a great game, and Stewart played great as well, and it was a good game to be a part of, and good for the first time on the portable rink as well.
Yeah, I mean, it must have been amazing playing on the portable rink. I mean, how different is this from your home rink?
Oh yeah, it's a lot different. You know, there's bigger swings. It's a lot different with the pace. Swings is quite heavy, my green, so it's a lot different.
A lot different, there's no doubt about it. And obviously you seem to, both of you seem to be able to handle the fact you were playing in this portable rink, but you know, the cameras are here, the lights are here, the big crowd's here as well. You just take that in your stride.
Yeah, it's all good as well to see what it's like and to experience the crowds and the cameras, but you do just get on with it like it's a normal game eventually and forget they're there.
Yeah. was great. I mean, and what are your ambitions in the world of bowls? I saw in your biog there, you're looking forward to meeting somebody like Paul Foster. He's your inspiration. That's the kind of success he's had. Not bad to aspire to his level.
Yeah, he's a good player, and I've always wanted to like, play for Scotland in some sort, whether it's juniors or it's international or gents level. So I've always wanted to try and play in that level and play in this on this rink. So it's really good experience that you're able to play in this.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Great experience. What about you, Rebecca? How big a deal is it for you to win the Young Scottish Masters this year?
Yeah, it's a great achievement, and I'm really pleased. And it's the first big singles title I've won, so I'm really pleased to finally get a big singles title.
It's a big singles title. It's an equally big cup, and let's lift it up in the air. And a huge round of applause for your champion, Rebecca Houston. Yes, big smiles from Rebecca Houston there. An absolutely fantastic performance from him. Corky has joined us at the moment. Let's have a wee chat about Jing 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 Jilly Doom Boo. And then a link at the end will be, well, let's move on. We've got some time to show you some of the action that happened this morning. This is from such and such and such and such, and we'll join the action.